Hey, good morning, everybody. So I'm going to start with two quick stories to explain my small piles equals big piles theory, okay? So all new traders, just stick with me, okay? Real quick. If I offer to give you 1 penny and double it every day for 30 days, right? We're starting at 1 penny the first day, 2 pennies the second day, 4 cents, then 8, 16, 32, 64, so on and so forth. You're going to have $5 million at the end of the month. All right. You're amazed. I'm amazed. It's true. Google it. That's what happens. The same is true for trading. It's small piles. So you start with $100 in your account and you look to make, let's say, 3% a day. So the first day I've got $100. I'm going to make 103. I make $3. That's it. $3. So I'm up to 103. Next trading day, I'm going to make about $3.30. Okay. So now I'm up to 106. Make 3% on that. So now I'm going to make $3 and whatever. So I'm up to 109 and change. The point is, if you do that for your 250 or so trading days, at the end, you're going to have $4 million. Sorry, I think there's like a little fire going on here. You'll have $4 million. So the point is, you don't need to crush it. You see people returning, oh, I got 1,000% on that trade. Bullshit, okay? It's one out of every like 100, if not 1,000 trades, they're going to get 1,000%. It's not something you can do day in and day out. So I tell you guys, it's about planning. Pretend I'm a chef. You got a pot on one side, pot on the other side. This one's going to come out with, you got the same ingredients, right? I got research, I got history, I got trends, I got the stocks range. I can get in at any point I want. The good pot, right? You put it in, you do your research, you do your homework, you're waiting on entry, you execute your strategy. The bad pot, you have the same ingredients, but you put them in the wrong order. Oh, I know I want to get in this. I'm going to hop in real quick. You hop in, it goes down. Now you're screwing yourself. So please understand, it takes a lot more to be a good chef than just ingredients. You have to understand how to use those ingredients, and that's why I'm here. Okay, so let's talk about what the heck's going on in the market, because everybody remember the song, remember? Your hip bone's connected to your thigh bone's connected to your, and so on and so forth. Now let me explain how that works in the world markets, okay? Number one, you have Chinese market, which was off 3% on their Monday, within like 24 hours. China continues their lockdowns. Now they lock down a second port city. So I'm going to explain how it's all interrelated. China then has an inflation surge in pricing. So that affects their exports. Now, the same way that it affects their exports, number four, due to lockdowns, the cost of our imports is going up, which is not going to be a surprise when CPI numbers come in hot tomorrow. Okay? You got Chinese stocks. You got NIO. I think it's off like 10% pre-market. Li Auto, probably off about 6 or 7%. And Xpeng, probably off about 6 or 7%. But because of the Chinese lockdowns, you also have oil stocks getting hurt, right? Because China is not using as much oil. Even though they're buying a lot of oil from Russia, oil is being pushed down. World demand is being pushed down. So understand, everything's related. Now you're saying, okay, well, China's, giving it to us. How do we know this is coming? Weeks ago, when China had 2,500 cases, I said the number of COVID cases on the increase. Don't be surprised if they lock down ports. They have zero tolerance policy. So in the interim, right, the Fed is increasing interest rates. Let's look at the 10-year rate. Now, there's good news and bad news, which I've mentioned before. It's currently at 2.75%. That's what I said we were going to. So as the 10-year goes up, tech stocks get beat down every single day. You'll look at NVIDIA, AMD, probably Tesla's off this morning. Okay? So it's crazy. And I heard Jim Cramer get upset, like, I don't understand why they're doing this. Easy, Jim Cramer. As inflation and interest rates go up, the tech stocks that have, earnings that are more speculative are going to go down. All right. Now I'm going to bring up one bit, the photo. I had to take a snapshot of this. Also, Russia has defaulted on its sovereign debt, meaning they have the money to pay in rubles, but no one's getting rubles. So basically, Russia is defaulting without really defaulting. Okay. Next, let me just talk about the Fed real quick. Okay. Because I mentioned this in a live stream last week. And I said, in January, the Fed was still expanding their balance sheet. Now, let's just remind everybody, The Fed has a balance sheet where they support and buy treasuries, bonds, things of that nature. Back 5 years ago in 2017, the Fed's balance sheet was 5 trillion with a T. 2019, they reduced it to 3.5 trillion. Well, we're sitting at $9 trillion right now. And even though the Fed says they're going to reduce their balance sheet by 95 billion a month, we're still going to be at 8 trillion at the end of the year. Now, here's the crazy thing. A month ago, the Fed was expanding its balance sheet, meaning they were still buying. I said until the end of January, but it turns out they were still buying into February. So although they knew they were going to reduce their balance sheet, what the F are they doing? Still purchasing, still supporting the market. So it's crazy. So it's no doubt that the market is going to struggle. Now, let me just explain. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's talking about we could drop another 10 or 15%. Does that mean we're in recession? No, because understand what a recession is. It means GDP is actually negative. Gross domestic product, the product that the US is producing, instead of being positive, meaning we are producing more each year, it's going to turn negative. So that's the technical term for recession. So even though the markets are going to struggle, we're not technically in recession. But understand, I made a comment about my investment strategy last week. So anybody that catches my live streams or my videos every day, you already know about this strategy. Now, I said when the Fed was supporting the markets, remember October, November, December, we're hitting all-time highs. You can't fight the trend. Well, the trend has flipped 180 degrees. The Fed says it's going to hawkishly reduce its balance sheet. So anytime the market's going to go up, the SPY goes up, I'm buying puts. Anytime the UVXY goes substantially down, I'm buying calls. Now, I mentioned this last week, but we talk about the SPY. Let's just talk about the SPY. They'll go right into it. The SPY this morning is at 444, which is one of its key points. Remember, it was pushing 450 on Friday. 450 on the SPY is resistance. So you can check it out. Let me see if I can actually bring up the chart and see if we can share the screen a little. And then I'm going to talk about a couple individual stocks because, again, they're pushing meme stocks like crazy. When I say they, I mean people on Twitter. I mean all these Reddit posts and things of that nature. So let's just bring up the SPY, which I did. Let me see if I can just go down. All right, so yeah, we're at 444 right now, closed at 447. So this is just the one-day chart. When you look at it, you get rid of this last peak here. Oh my God, we have to actually go under the 5-day because we're going to 444. So we're revisiting where we were on April 6th, April 7th. We were actually a little bit under, but there was some support. So let's see if there is any more support. So again, we're 444. You haven't seen under 444 dating back probably 3 weeks. Here we go, March 16th. And before that, that was the time that we went and opened at 410. So we're definitely pushing down. There's definitely downward pressure on the market, which is the same exact thing I said. When it goes to 450, 449, I'm buying puts on the SPY. When the UVXY drops, I'm buying calls on that. But let's talk about some meme stocks. Let me just pull up some meme stocks on my phone real quick so I can tell you guys what's going on. Because, first off, so what am I investing in? What might be my best investment these days? Great question. I'm going to suggest the Yang, Y-A-N-G, like yin and yang. That's the Chinese ETF times 3, the reverse. So as the Chinese market drops, Yang is going to go up. Now, if we look at the Yang, you know what? I got to pull it up on my chart here to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. Okay. So again, Y-A-N-G is the Chinese reverse. So it's 3 times. So here's what you see. Oh, please tell me it's on my screen. It's not there yet. All right, let's pull it up. Okay, here we go. So there I am. So here's what I'm looking at, okay? Chinese market was on fire here. So it dropped off. Boom, the Yang is all the way down to 1635, right? Which makes sense because the Chinese market was on fire. And they're still selling. Chinese market was still hot, still hot, still hot until the very end of March. And now what happened at the end of March? The Chinese government came out and they said they need to reevaluate policies to better support the Chinese market. Kind of like the Fed does for our market, all right? So China's stepping in, they're reducing their interest rate if you want to borrow money for your company. So what do we see? We see inflow into the Yang, meaning People think the Chinese market is going down. As the Chinese market goes down, the yang goes up. Okay. So here you go. They're buying, they're buying, they're buying. All right. Tons of inflow, but it's not moving. It was 14 and a half. Now it's 15 and a half. It's still not moving, except for this morning. It is up 6.7%. So it's up to 1654. So let's look at it on the chart. All right. 1654. Here you go. You see that line going across 16. It's hardly above that. So I'm telling you, if you think the US market is going to struggle and China's market's even tighter with regulations, zero tolerance policy, 2 major ports closed, right? Chinese stocks, some of them going down. I expect the yang to probably go back up and fill this gap. Now, fill it all the way to $44? No. But let's see where it could potentially fill it to. It could potentially fill the gap to $25. It could potentially fill this gap right here to $22. So even at $16 this morning, pre-market up 6 to 7%, I think it's likely that in the next 2 weeks, this ETF yang is going to go to 22.50. So we go and we look at it. It's okay. It's 16.50 right now. It's going to go up another $6 within the next few weeks. So what would I do? I would buy calls in the money. I would go out probably like 5 or 6 weeks just to make sure I have enough time. So that's the yang right there. Again, it just tells you, even if the US market can somehow hold its own, I do not believe the Chinese market will be as strong. Now, as far as the US market holding its own, people say, hey, aren't we going into recession? Well, I already explained recession means negative GDP. So no, we're not going into recession yet. We wouldn't feel the actual being in recession for like another 12 months if we were in it right now. So what would happen is stocks would get worse, the market would get worse, CPI numbers coming in hot. Remember, tomorrow morning at 8:30, the CPI number, Consumer Price Index number, is going to come in. Now that's telling you what the average American spends on rent, on homes, on cars. Usually it's X energy, means they take out energy, but we all know energy and gas prices are going up. Usually it's X food as well, so they take out food. But we all know when you go to the supermarket, you're paying more for eggs, orange juice, coffee. Price, everything's going up. Yeah, Matt, but wages are going up as well. Yes, wages are going up, but not as much as inflation. So if I make $100,000 a year, hypothetically, just a round number, and my wage goes up 4%, I'm at $104,000. But let's say CPI is coming in at 8.5%. That means whatever I was spending $1,000 on, it's up 8.5%. So now I'm spending $1,008.50 every time I spend that $1,000. The point is, my wage went up 4%. Inflation is going up 8.5%, right? Now they even say by the end of the year, inflation number will come in, maybe around between 5 and 6%. Yeah, no shit. I've been saying that for a number of months now. We're going to come in at about 5.5% into the year. So things are still going to be tough. And remember, we're still only in the beginning of April. Okay, next, I just wanted to talk about cryptos and Bitcoin real quick, because as some of you know, I just hit the Bitcoin event, the conference, Miami Bitcoin 2022, where Kathy was speaking, Michael Saylor was speaking, Aaron Rodgers was speaking, a whole bunch of names were speaking. And let me tell you, I mean, I say convention, but it was more like a cult. I go there, and these people that are talking about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, man, they're sucking me in. I want to join the cult. I'm like, holy shit, why am I even invested in the stock markets? There are so many different crypto coins that make sense, that can appreciate so much faster than some of these stocks. So I had the light bulb moment. I'm probably going to take my personal portfolio, and again, just trying to give you guys insight. New traders, old traders, experienced, you're 20, you're 40, doesn't matter. I'm telling you what I'm doing to help give you some perspective. So the point is, I used to be about, 100%. I was 100% of my assets in stocks and options, but mostly stocks. And my options play is so small. With that said, I'm taking down my portfolio. I'm probably going to put a third of it into various cryptos. Now, I mentioned last week, the first day of the conference, when I was going there, that I was so inspired that I bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at like 42,000 and change. And then I took $5,000 and broke $1,000 into 5 other altcoins. very low price. So if you like, minimum cost altcoins, I mean, I was buying a coin that was 2 cents, 9 cents, 21 cents, 43 cents. I'm going to talk about all 5 coins. I made a video, but it's going to drop later this week. Don't worry, you're not missing out. Since I bought my altcoins and since I bought my Bitcoin, Bitcoin's down. Let's see where Bitcoin's at right now. The point is, all of these people that are attending, Bitcoin's at 41,000 again. So I'm over $1,000 higher. But here, it was so intense that it tells me all of these people, and these people are like sit and hold. All right. Kathy from ARK said that 70% of Bitcoin holders are holding the same coin longer than 6 months, right? Which doesn't seem that long to you and I, but it's a longer term investment. Okay, so those holding it for 6 months. So the reason Bitcoin is moving, I mean, it's moving, and crypto is moving along with Bitcoin. Obviously, it's like follow the leader, but it's following the tech market because it's speculative. The same way that certain tech stocks don't have earnings yet and they're speculative. That's what other people are saying about these coins and even Bitcoin, which we know has positive uses, okay? Especially in this world of chaos right now with Russia, Ukraine, everything that's going on with China. We're now telling China, hey, don't you invade Taiwan. You don't want the wrath of the US. Okay, so let's talk about some alt stocks right now, some meme stocks, because you guys, I don't want people getting screwed. We can bring up Mullen. I don't even know where Mullen is. I think it's one of the most active ones. So let me just go here. Markets, right? United States. All right. No, it's not even on here. Okay. But the point about Mullen is, so Mullen I was short Mullen at $3.25. It went all the way down to $2.19. I bought my shares back. I only had 2,500 shares. So I only made $2,500 on the trade, but there are larger institutions following the same format. So please stay clear of certain meme stocks like Mullen, okay? I know people are giving it out all the time. I mean, it shocks me. And then you have another one, VERU, okay? I'm going to pull up the chart on this one because this one's up 37% this morning, VERU. But I'm just giving you fair warning to stay away, okay? Let's look at, it's at $5.88, okay? So it's almost at $6. Well, let's go back 3 months. Okay, let's go back a full year, okay? Can you guys see this? Nope, you can't. Let's bring it on my screen. All right. So again, this is VERU, right? Which is up 30, it was just up 37% free market. Okay, so we're 35%. I've got the 1 year chart up, okay? Let's go to the 3 month chart. Okay, 3 month chart peaked out at 640, lower peaks 540, 526, and then you look at it where it is this morning, right? 587. So it's going to be right up here. So if you can't tell, 99% of the time, the stock is under that price. So if you're in that stock, I would suggest get out, take your profit. Let's go back to a year. Oh, Matt, look, it was as high as almost $10. And it's been a good time here at 687. Yes, but I'm talking about opportunity, okay, and risk management. So we're at 585. Even if you think it's going back up to this target, 694, right? And we're at 585 right here. You're talking about a range of like this. You're talking about a range of $1, okay? So granted, that's another 18% higher. But what if the market sells off today? Remember, China was down 3% overnight. So let's say the market sells off. Where do you think this is going? It's going back down to $5, which you'd say, oh, it's still close at $4.35 yesterday. At $5, it'd be up 65 cents. It'd be up about 17%. Great. But if it goes to $5 and you're in at 588, you're down 18% at $5. So you understand, some people are gonna be like, yo, I made 18%. And you who jumped in at $5.88 because the people on Twitter are talking about VERU are gonna get crushed. So yeah, I would be shorting this stock. I actually might look into shorting this stock. I'd probably short around $6 if it gets a bounce on market open. And then I would ride it all the way down, not greedy, but to $5. So that's how you have a strategy. Let me just see if I have any other stocks I wanted to talk about this morning. See, NVIDIA's off about 4%. Okay, here's a stock that I mentioned to my Discord a couple days ago, LPX. Now, this is a transportation company. It's a rail line, Louisiana Pacific. Let me just bring it up for you guys. Let me see if I can open this up. So this is a stock I think a couple of Dow transport stocks. I mentioned a couple of them on probably Friday, Thursday. Union Pacific, JB Hunt, okay, which is Union Pacific's is UNP, JB Hunt is JBHT, okay? But let's talk about this rail line because let's just go down here. All of Dow transports have been getting crushed and they all look like this. They all were peaking out. This one's peaking here, dips, comes back, dips again, comes back, dips again, comes back. Well, one of these times that it comes back, and again, this is a transport, and we go back to a year, you could see we haven't been this since last July, last August. We haven't been at this range. So I mentioned to my Discord at $56 where it hit the other day, man, it's a screaming buy. At $59, I would probably wait. I would wait what? For it to retract back to this range, right around here. So $57.50. So even at $59, you have to give yourself a plan. And the plan for me would say, okay, $59 too expensive. The other day, let's just see, it was as low as 56.5. Previous close, 57.5. Previous 52-week low, $50. So yeah, I want to be in at 57.5, which is what I mentioned to Discord when somebody on my Discord, I think it was Jody, brought it up. And she's like, hey, what about LPX? We all loved rail lines at one point. Yeah, we loved them when there was demand. Now that there's no demand and it's going out, I'm in favor of Dow Transports again. So trading is about to get started. We got about 10 minutes going on. Please stick around for the next video if you want to learn more. But again, CPI numbers coming out tomorrow morning. The 10-year is going up. So keep your eyes on the 10-year because I happen to think 2.75 is almost like a ceiling. Like it will get rejected when it tries to go higher. If it breaks through 2.75 and you see it 2.84 this afternoon, understand tech is getting hurt big time. Now, what could happen is if the 10-year goes from 2.75 to 2.69 or 2.68, there's a good chance tech has a little bit of recovery. So please, guys, I see someone making a comment there. Please give me thumbs up, pass it along. I'm just trying to see if I have any questions from you guys that I can answer. Nothing too substantial this morning. So yeah, we're going to talk about crypto later in the week. Have a great week. Have a great day of trading, and I'll get with Discord very soon. Thank you, everybody.